Hello and welcome to this next RailSim Gamer video tutorial. Let's get into it. Good afternoon and welcome to this next RailSim Gamer tutorial. And in today's video we're going to be looking at RailSim World and creating more scenarios. I say scenarios, basically scenarios and timetable services are slightly different, and I think people now say scenarios, including me, because we're the old timers RailSim Classic players. But we're going to be pretty much creating a scenario / timetable service, but we're going to look at how to make a more advanced and more complex service. If you've seen our latest video, it's basically part 1 of the Birmingham to Manchester via Crewe cross country class 220 drive. Part 2 coming out this Friday. But that was actually a custom scenario that I built, and I'm going to show you how to make a more advanced one like that, which, when I say advanced, basically means looking at more realistic train movements, for example, having congestion in busy areas, red signals, green signals, slowing down, and all that kind of stuff. And to be fair, it's pretty simple. It'll probably take about 5 to 10 minutes, but without further ado, let's get started. So when you get to this lovely home screen, we're all getting very acquainted with this. We're going to go to Creative Club, or Creators Club, and then go to Scenario Planner. So even RailSim World suggests it's called Scenario Planner, but yeah, Scenario, Timetable, they're pretty much both the same. What you need to remember with this, unfortunately, RailSim World and RailSim Classic are slightly different. In RailSim Classic, it can be more sort of personalizable with how you create scenarios. You can put more complex train movements, but because RailSim was built slightly different, you can't do as much without actually going into the back end of the game, which we won't be covering in this video, maybe one for another time, but it's a lot more complex. So the first thing you do is choose which route you're going to do it on. We're going to look at creating a pretty much identical scenario to the one we created last time. So that is the West Coast Main Line Birmingham to Crewe. If you have no idea what I'm on about when I say last time or the one that we did in our latest video, watch this video in the top right corner here, and that is basically a scenario that we created using this, which has more complex train movement and congestion. And you can actually see it here. So it's this original scenario we created. So we're going to create a copy of it effectively. A few things that you probably need to know about is you probably need to have a bit of a understanding of what that line looks like for in terms of the stopping pattern, where the stations are, what track you have available, and where you want to go. And that will make more sense in a minute. So first thing we're going to do is click Create New. We're then going to call it something. So we're going to call this one BMS to Crewe. We'll call it tutorial, spelled wrong, and basically you create it there. You create a description if you want to create one. This is a tutorial, and the next thing you need to do is actually select the start time. Be careful here, the start time and the departure time are completely different, and that will make more sense in a minute. So we're going to set this to, we'll start 6 in the morning like that. And we're also going to set our weather by clicking Edit Weather. You can follow along with this at home if you want to. Let's set it for July, a little bit of fog. Lovely. And confirm. And confirm again. And it will then take you to this lovely screen here where it'll ask you to create a service. So a service is a train effectively, and you have to create these for every train you want involved in the scenario. First one we're going to do is our player train. So we go to Add New Service, and we're going to call this BNS. So this will run the full route to Crewe. The next thing down here is the activation time of the train. For example, if you set this for 6 o'clock, once the clocks go 6 o'clock, it'll say open your doors. This isn't the actual departure time of the train, and unfortunately with Train Simulator you can only go up in 5-minute increments. So if you set it for 6 o'clock, I normally say give it 3 minutes once you set up the train and get it to go, open the doors, shut the doors. So the departure time for this 6 o'clock service will be around 6:03 to 6:05. But yeah, you'll get to its printing. So if we set this to 6 o'clock, And the most important one, as it's a player train, you need to click the tick for player and click confirm. It's then going to ask us to create the train. So for this, we'll create a cross country, that one. Add new path. So a path is effectively the route the train will take. So we want this one to start at Birmingham New Street, so platform 4. Confirm start marker. And these are all the options of where the train can go. So we're going to go to Crewe platform 7 and confirm destination. And here you've got all the stopping areas this train can stop at. For example, we'll just do Wolverhampton platform 2. And then we're going to click confirm instruction. What I'm going to say here, make a note of where your train is going and what platforms it goes through. For example, we're going to start at platform 4. We're going to go through platform 2 at Wolverhampton, and we're going to end up platform 7 at Crewe. Make a note of that, because if you don't, and you put your train or train in front of yours, and it basically stops either at Wolverhampton in that platform, or starts or ends in where you're starting, your scenario won't crash, but you will be ending sitting at a red signal that will never change, which has happened to me a lot of times, so it's trial and error. So make a note of that, and we're going to click confirm service. Brilliant, so that's our player train, and we're going to click save and exit. We're now going to create a new train, so add new service, and this is where the advanced bit comes in. So in the modern railway, obviously with more and more trains on the network, and the network not actually getting any bigger, figuratively, quite often you'll get trains put in front of you, and if they're stopping at more stations than you are, what actually happens is you end up getting stuck behind them, but that's realistic to a real railway. So what we're going to do, we're going to create another service, so Birmingham New Street, BNS, capitals, and this one is going to go to Wolverhampton, so WOL. And we're also going to set this start time at 6 o'clock. We're going to untick the player train here and click confirm. We're then going to set the train. So for this one, we'll create a 350, which are quite typical on that route. And then add new path like before. And we want this one to start at Birmingham. You'll notice that it's put our service in platform 4, so that is quite a good visual marker. And the only thing we need to make sure with this service, it doesn't terminate or cross our path at Wolverhampton, basically platform 2. So if we start from Birmingham New Street, platform 5, confirm start point, and we want this one to end. So this one can't actually end at Wolverhampton, platform 2, because it stopped right in front of us, which would cause us issues. So what we can do, if we go back and go to platform 6, sometimes you get other options. So this one can actually terminate at Wolverhampton platform 1. So if we select this and click confirm destination, you'll see it's not starting on our platform and it's not ending on a platform that we need to go through. Be very careful with this and make sure you make clear notes of what services and what trains you've put on already. Otherwise you're in for quite the disappointment, I think. Let's see if we can add some instructions. We can't. Can we add some instructions? I think it's only going to let us. Yep. And service instructions, and that's it. So that is another train added. So that train will be slightly in front of us. So save it at exit, despite leaving both at 6 o'clock. If we add another service, sometimes it's obviously difficult to have trains coming the other way. So let's start one at Wolverhampton to Birmingham New Street, and we'll start this one also at 6 o'clock. Not a player service. Confirm. Set the train. Let's have a 170. Why not? Add new path. You get the idea. You're going to probably be getting sick of me showing you now. And we know we need platform 1 and 2 at Wolverhampton. So let's start this one in platform. Let's start at platform 5 to be safe. Confirm destination, and we want this one to go to Birmingham, platform 4C. So we will be out the way once this train comes in, so don't worry too much about that. And we can choose where this stops. It will make it a stopping service, confirm instructions, and confirm service. Save and exit. So you're going to repeat this multiple times until you get basically the service pattern you want. You've got a full list of services. I've added a few different ones here. You are more than welcome to play it. Also, I'll just make a note, I also set our train to depart 5 minutes after the 2 in front, just to give a bit more gap so you're not pretty much signal to signal behind them. But yeah, that's the only change I made. So we're going to now play it. So if we go to play, it'll then load the scenario. just like that. So that has now started us at Birmingham, and we can see the other services to our left or right here that we've added. I hope you found this scenario tutorial useful and helpful, and it's going to help you sort of establish more advanced creative skills. If you like this video, please give it a big fat thumbs up. Please give us a subscribe, comment, share. If you haven't, please like us on Facebook, facebook.com/RailSim Gamer, and we'll create you. And we will see you in the next video on Friday, where we have part 2 of this actual service between Birmingham and Manchester. Thanks for watching.